You think. All right, we are recording now. Thank you. Okay, yes, I'm going to read that again. When people achieve great things, others often explain their accomplishments by simply attributing everything to talent. That to me is almost insulting. I personally take it almost, and I don't mean that, I don't get all mad or anything, but when someone says you're just lucky, I say no, 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 no. Like that discredits all the hard work that you put into this, right? That's how I look at it. And then yeah. So that's the first thing that jumped off that page to me. What is something that jumped out to any of you in towards the beginning of chapter 1?
I think when he says develop the talent that I have, not the talent that I want, but also there was part of it says attitude and character issues have to be addressed though. That stuck out to me um, because that's that's an important part of us growing, and I know that for myself I see that, and a lot of people don't, it's like they don't even want to discuss, or they don't even want to hear the things that they need to change. But the attitude and the character issues, those have to change. Those are things that you need to work on, um, addressing those, other than developing a talent. That's what stuck out to me.
Yes. I wholeheartedly agree. And like he says here, and I don't remember where it was, but there's people with lots of talents, highly skilled people, and we've probably all ran into people like that who we've reached out to who've actually turned this opportunity down, whereas we've brought people on, and maybe some of us here don't have like outstanding skills and talents, and yet there are so many people successful in this in Plexus who chose to develop themselves. And I have something along the lines of that circled on page 2, which actually was really encouraging to me because I was never an A student. But I had circled more than 50% of all CEOs of Fortune 500 companies had a C or C negative averages in college. And I was like, oh, good. Right. I've never had very good grades. Yeah, almost failed geometry. And so, yeah, math isn't my strong point, obviously, because I go to a lot of you, be like, hey, does this make sense? So it,
I
that
kind of
way to
wonder why
show, what?
is there. I would like to know why that is. Is it because they're not excelling, or they're not striving to get the A's or excelling in those things, so that they're looking at for other things outside the box, kind of a thing? I kind of
So
wonder.
I kind of, I kind of feel like I understand it a little bit because because classes were not even the music classes were generally, I love music and I'm a pianist, but I struggled even in music classes for some reason. Learning and retaining the knowledge and then putting it onto paper, I just didn't seem to do well with that. But for whatever reason, um this, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because some people, maybe it's because we had to do school and we didn't have to do this, and we grew up and we matured to a certain point. These, or whoever, the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies got to a certain point in their 20s or something, and they were like, you know what, I want to do something and I think I can do it. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that
Can
I've
I,
had very intelligent people turn this opportunity down because they think they have everything all set in life and they think they're smart enough and this is below them. And I've had people who I've had, and I'm not girls, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm just using, I've had stay-at-home moms, hello, say, yes, this makes sense. I'll do this. Someone was saying something.
it's me, it's Miston. I'm just chopping in and out here, but I hope to come back and listen to the full thing because I'm going to have to leave. But in the other book that I read by this same author, maybe I can turn on my camera for a moment. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So in the other book by this same author, he talks about how hard work wins every time. So you can have this amazing brain and be an overachiever in all things, or you can be this perfectly average person. But if you're willing to put in all the effort, the hard work is always going to win, always going to pay off to such a vast degree, which proves the point of the CEOs being C students, because it's just about work. And this, I have a story about this if I can give you one more minute. So my husband is 5'9", so not tall, not big, but he made semi-pro in the Canadian Football League because he is all heart. And so he would just pour it all out there. Like he was just giving everything he had all the time. And he made it so far because of his heart. He's not built for professional athletics, but he is an incredible athlete because of that determination to win. This is his heart effort. So he like proves all of John Maxwell right all the time in every area. So it's kind of cool to watch.
That is so cool. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like that's a
Hey,
really good illustration.
yeah, I think so too. I got to go back to dinner.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Miss.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Jump in.
This is one thing that I saw in the book was that you work on your strengths, not your weaknesses. And that can be part of it. They know that they're really good at something and they just pour it into it, like she was saying, just pour right into it and not worry about all the other stuff that you're not that good at. No.
That actually makes more sense. And that maybe that's why some people have a hard time studying for certain subjects because it's not something that their certain subjects are not there. I don't know. I'm just remembering my college classes and high school classes. Um and and when we find, you know how like we'll share things, like when someone's good at something, we will delegate out or ask, hey, can you do this? In this genre, what we are in, this industry, as opposed to in school, you have to study this, you have to do this. So maybe, I don't know. That's a good point, Jane. And when we find what we're good at, we can get better at that. And collaborate with other people who are good at things that we're not good at.
I was gonna say, when you focus on the things that you're good at, it, like your strengths, it builds belief in yourself that you can be good at things. And then you believe in yourself. So then you pull from your weaknesses and you're like, well, if I'm good at this, then maybe I could be good at this. And I kind of develops. So, my husband and I are both trade fields. Like we don't have college degrees. He didn't even graduate high school. He has a GED, but like he, makes a great living because I think it's almost as the sense of urgency piece where like, okay, I don't have a degree. I'm not going into a job that requires a degree, but I need to work a job and make money. So what are you good at? So that I think that makes a lot of sense for me with like this C grade people being really successful, because it's almost like, okay, I have to be successful now because I don't have a degree. What am I going to do? And I was always good at school. Like I always had good grades, but like I had no interest in going to college because I was in school for hair. So I was like, this stuff doesn't matter. Like, I don't care that I'm not good at science because it doesn't matter to me. But I knew what I was good at, and I knew what I needed to be good at, which was math. And now I'm the math girl on the team.
Literally.
But I loved all the stuff that he said about belief and how much of a role it really plays in your success. Because if you really do not believe in yourself, it's like you're putting a roadblock in front of you. Like if you don't, I heard someone say, and it was like weeks before this, that was like the work that you're avoiding is because you don't actually think that you're worthy of achieving the goal. And I was like, oh my God. Like, how many times do we get close to a goal and then we're like, oh, I'm not going to hit it. So I'll just like stop trying because you don't think that you're even going to make it. It's the belief. It really is all belief. So if you believed in yourself and that, like, I loved this first 2 chapters. It was so easy to read and I was just so excited about this.
Yes, I agree. And I think that's called self-sabotage. And what if some of you are in Wendy's training for this month, she had us listen to the Ed Milet episode where he talks about something about self-sabotaging. And I had that light bulb moment go on where I realized I have been self-sabotaging all this time. It's so fascinating. So kind of like not going for a goal and pretty much self-sabotaging. Okay, let's see. Okay, so on belief, believing in yourself. This one, the quote he has in here by Thomas Edison, I have a star next to it because it just jumped out at me. And it says, if we did all the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astonish ourselves. And I felt like that was just another smaller light bulb moment where I have been playing, or what do you like, playing, not really playing the game fully, not going for a goal, not, just saying, yeah, I'm working, I'm doing the things, but not taking further steps of things that I can do, that I'm capable of doing. The other thing I love is on page 8, the lady who, let's see, learned some things after making her success. Okay, so after she climbed Mount Everest, and she discovered it wasn't a matter of physical strength, but a matter of psychological strength. The conquest lay within my own mind to penetrate those barriers of self-imposed limitations and get through to that good stuff, the stuff called potential, 90% of which we rarely use. Yeah. Did anything stand out to anybody? Did you underline anything? Did you highlight?
I can't find it right now, but with that lady that was climbing Mount Everest and she was like, you're not going to get any bigger, but I am. I loved that.
Yes, that was really good. Yes. So we literally I limit myself in what I can attain. Because it's all mental. And it takes having what she says, psychological strength. Any thoughts on that? Okay, I'm going to read something else here. On page 9, your potential is really up to you. It doesn't matter what others might think. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't even matter what you might have believed about yourself at a previous time in your life. It's about what lies within you and whether you can bring it out.
I really liked on page 11 when he says, during crunch time, some players want the ball, others want to hide. It's like trying to reach that goal at the end of the month and like it seems so far away. So are you somebody who like throws in the towel or do you kind of just grab the ball and run with it and finish the game?
Yes. Yes.
love
And
that
we do
whole
see
part.
that. Like we can see the people that just keep going all the way through the end of the month. Even if they were going for a goal where they weren't sure if they were like a rank that they weren't sure if they were going to get it or not. It's really easy to throw in the towel partway through to a rank and say, well, there's just no way I'm going to get it. Because I'm just using my own personal experience. I almost did that when we were going for Emerald in 2018. And Monica had to figuratively slap me in the face and say, your team, it has been working their butts off all this time. You are not quitting right now, even if it looks like you're far away. And we did it. So, another thing that just stood out to me, successful people believe in themselves, especially when others do not. And I think we see that all throughout Plexus and just in network marketing in general, and really with entrepreneurs. I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs that come from really hard backgrounds where they never succeeded in anything. And you hear the story, well, we didn't think they'd amount to much, and look at them now. That's I feel like network marketing opens up the door for people to discover what they are capable of. Yeah.
When I did the high performance coaching over the summer with Brooke Hemingway, she had like a whole part on support and belief, and went over like this whole thing about how people will self-sabotage because the people that they expect to believe in them. So if you're somebody who you're like, oh, I really want my sister to do this with me, or my mom, or my aunt, or my friend, or whatever, and then like those people don't see your vision, they don't want the products, like you immediately like crumble and you think, oh, all these people have got to support me or I'm not going to be successful at this. And she just built a lot of belief in us that like it's okay if like people do not understand your vision. Like you have to believe in yourself, and if you are your only cheerleader, like that is enough. You don't have to be like enough for everybody else, but you've got to be enough for yourself. So like don't downplay believing in yourself, even if the people around you do not believe in yourself, but believe in you. Or you think that people don't believe in you. Or even when you reach out to people and they tell you no, like it's okay because you're going to find somebody who says yes.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, I still will have that internal struggle at times where it's like I know better, but I really thought so and so was going to want to do this. And they said no. They have zero interest in it. And I'm like, oh. And way back that was a lot harder because there was a lot of people pleasing tendencies I had to work through and overcome. And there still tends to be some of that under the surface, but it's not something that controls like it used to control. I have something else highlighted here. Oh, and this is what you just pretty much said. Belief in your mission will encourage you. So like believing in why you're doing this, doing Plexus, what you want to accomplish with the business and how it can help your family. So belief in your mission will encourage you. A woman with a will to win will have her naysayers. A man on a mission will have his critics. What often allows such people to keep going, what often allows such people to keep going in a negative environment? That is belief in the mission, belief in your mission, in your goal, in your outcome, what you are working for that no one else can envision. And sometimes it's the people closest to you that cannot envision it. And that's where it can be emotionally hard. But that doesn't mean it's not true. It just means that they haven't seen it yet. Anything else really quick in the next couple minutes? I have another one. You, about belief determines expectations. You begin by harnessing the power of your mind. Your beliefs control everything you do. So that's kind of like along the lines of self-sabotaging. So if I believe that I'm really not going to enroll a certain number that I want to enroll, or I'd like to enroll, but I'm like, I really don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Then I'm not going to act upon it. I'm going to self-sabotage and not even do it. I'm not going to do the actions to accomplish that goal.
Okay,
I
wait,
like
can we
the
skip?
very, go ahead, Jillian.
Sorry. I was gonna say, can we skip to the next page where it says, blessed is he who expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. Oh my God, I literally grew up with my dad telling me all the time, have low expectations and then you'll like never be disappointed. And I always thought that was such like a crock of crap. If you guys don't know me, I don't talk to my dad anymore because he's a terrible person. But it was so validating reading this. Like, you should be okay with failing. And I'm so big, and me and Crystal talk about this all the time about like failing forward. Like, failing is not a bad thing. You should have high expectations and get your knees dirty and skimmed, and like, it's okay if you mess up. Like, that's part of the process. That's how you learn to do better and show people beneath you, like, hey, I did this wrong one time and this is how you should do it. You know, teaching other people, paving the way. Like, this is the whole point of what we do. So I thought that this was really funny that this is in here, because I was like, oh my God, I've literally heard that quote my whole life. Go ahead, Crystal.
I love the very last sentence of the chapter. It says, try to see yourself as you could be, and then do everything in your power to believe that you can become that person. That is the first important step in becoming a successful person. And there was a part in chapter 1 that said the best decision you can make is deciding who you will become.
Yeah, I have that underlined too. Because in our coaching forms that we've had to fill out, because I filled mine out too. And Monica and we got on the phone today and she did my coaching form with me. It has that part in it about, where did it go? Oh, see yourself as you could be, and then do everything in your power to believe that you can become that person. So it has on the coaching form on the second page, who is that part about the diamond? I don't remember what it is, but it's something about, I don't have it here. Something about, if you were a diamond, how would you go? Like, what would change for, I don't remember exactly what it is now, but do you know what I'm saying? So basically what I've been putting the last 2 months on the coaching form, and what I've been working to live out, failing forward, is having more structure, having more, because to me, I'm like, okay, a diamond is pulled together, somebody who has a massive team, who has a lot of people that he or she is leading, I don't want to say manage, leading and working with, there has to be much more structure in her day, boundaries put up, priorities in place, and depending on what season of life she is in, if there's kids in the home, like schedules in place and needs being taken care of. Diamond vibes only, yes. And so that is how I have been trying to channel my thought process. And today, I literally telling myself in my head, I was doing some things and I was feeling it sounds real so silly. I'm sorry, we're wrapping it up really quick. But I was feeling chilly, like physically chilly. Like it was early morning. I was tired. I had made myself get up early on purpose to execute these things. And I was like, you don't need to be comfortable. You're going to go do whatever you need to do because you have other things to do. And Melody, you don't need to be comfortable. You're fine. Like, and so I'm just saying there are certain things that I do where I have to talk myself in my head and make myself go do those things. And my goal is to live how I would really like to live as a sapphire, as a diamond, leading a team, having a well cared for family and a healthy marriage. So, okay. Any last thoughts really quick? We are over time.
It was when I see myself as a diamond, I see someone who is. That's what the
Thank
the
you.
line was.
That's what it was. Okay. Thank you all for coming on. Hold on, don't leave. Okay, everyone, if you want to be in the picture and have a happy face, have a happy face. Hold on. Okay. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, yay. This is our first book club. Thank you so much. Not to beat a dead horse, but if you have your coaching form, please fill it out and send it to me tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
What are we reading next? The next 2 chapters, 1 chapter?
Yes, Janelle and I, that's a good question. Janelle and I had talked about just doing 2 chapters because they're so short, I believe.
Okay.
I think, hang on. Yeah,
And that's next
They are
week.
short.
next Monday. So we're meeting every Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep,
Sure.
before Rising Diamonds, which is right now. So thank you. See you later.
Thanks.